Very good afternoon. Our discussion today is on risk and innovation. So, I have borrowed certain key insights from the Asia Risk Management Institute, which looks at how risk and innovation needs to be judiciously balanced in order to drive growth. First and foremost, you need to understand what innovation is and how it links with risk and risk management per se. Understand the practical implications of risk. Look at generating and implementing innovations. You also need to understand how risk management can help organizations recognize and manage different types of change and different types of innovation. Then we need to look at some best practices to become an effective manager of risk. So, what is innovation and what is the link with risk management is the fundamental question to ask ourselves. See, over thousands of years, we've emerged from being simple hunter gatherers to having a modern family with all the benefits and luxuries of life. So, thereby, innovation means doing something new. Innovation is something that creates value. Examples of innovation, as you would have clearly seen, we started by being on foot, and today we have modern vehicles. It's moved from land transportation to horse carriages to cars to modern vehicles today. So innovation has truly made the world smaller. Additionally, how money has evolved from the barter system to internet banking, mobile payments, cashless transactions, even probably say the Bitcoin has truly innovated the concept of money. However, innovation is not just only about products and services. Innovation happens in any aspect of business operations. So just to give you an idea, innovation can occur in process, in the revenue model, in your distribution channels, in the allocation of resources, in the cost structures, in the overall organizational system. So every bit of the business model is susceptible to innovation. So you can see Gillette created this beautiful profit model where the razor stick as in itself was not very expensive, but they charged the razor blades at a premium. How Toyota created the TPS, Toyota Production System, as an innovative process of manufacturing. How companies like Bounce, companies like Vogo have created this concept of bike sharing. So example of a product innovation, process innovation, and a service innovation. Now, thereby the most important question to ask ourselves is what is the connection between innovation and risk? See, innovation in itself is all about taking risk. How discovery of America itself was a huge risk that was taken but has led to the creation of this global superpower. How Nintendo came up with this product called the Wii, which used motion sensing technology to take gaming to the next level. The company wasn't sure when it launched it, but it took that calculated risk, and the Wii as an innovation has also spawned other innovations like the Kinect from Microsoft and the Xbox. Thereby, risk is the effect of uncertainty on objectives defined by the International Standards Organization in their 31,000-2009 rule. Thereby, risk taking leads to either negative results or positive results depending upon the management. If you take an uncalculated risk, it can lead to catastrophic losses. But if you take a calculated risk, it could lead to transformational gains and new responsibilities. Thereby, taking risk is so necessary in order to answer threats, meet new needs, and achieve rewards. But taking risk without proper risk management is akin to gambling. Thereby, why do we need to innovate? Can't we already be happy with what we have? Is it necessary for human societies? The answer is a big resounding yes, because the only thing which is constant in life is going to be change. So you have to understand that organizations are in a very complex, uncertain, and dynamic environment. So the political climate, the human and social factors, economic factors, technological factors are a source of both risk and opportunities. Thereby, due to globalization, there is global competition for resources, markets, products and services. Thereby, you need to continuously innovate to stay ahead of the competition. Thereby, all these disruptive innovations were highly risky, but they have paved their way and they have been able to make a mark. Mobile banking, cashless payments have made a huge impact. Today, companies like Google are trying to come out with self-drive cars and automation. Your Tesla is another example. Artificial intelligence to automate decision making. These were risky innovations, but because they have been implemented, it's made the world and the business world a much better place. Now, when change is the only constant, you need to learn and adapt to change very continuously. In short, innovation is so crucial. So thereby, the biggest question you need to ask yourself, are organizations good at managing change and the risks associated with it? So a lot of CEOs think that they are very effective in managing risk. However, you need to look at data and the track record of companies to prove that you are not only innovative, but you are also a positive change agent by taking risk. Now, organizations, why are they not built to last? What is the issue? Is to do with the types of innovations. Most companies are happy with incremental innovations. They don't bother about the long term. Very few companies are sustaining radical innovations. Just a mere handful are sustaining disruptive innovations. Only the companies who are disruptive and not incremental are going to have a long-standing relationship. So what is the challenge which is posed? Sustained incremental innovations are proven, business is known, high certainty, lot of profit, very compatible, very predictable. Shareholders prefer it. But radical ones are unproven, high uncertainty, huge growth potential, but exponential amounts of risk as well. So what becomes very crucial for organizations is to optimize incremental innovations, but at the same time explore radical innovations. So this is an example for the risk-taking and management life cycle. You have people who are anxious losers, cautious administrators who are not taking a lot of risks. The gambler and the smart experts have high expertise in risk management. They are high risk takers and they earn huge rewards. So what you've got to understand is the risk management deals with numbers, deals with having an ability to think outside the box, looks at taking creativity and innovation into perspective. But if your risk management is highly defensive, it only provides pseudo comfort and it's not going to work in the long run. So please understand, disruptive innovations are the ones which are a high risk, high reward model, whereas incremental innovations are the ones which have a low risk and a low return model. So all these are examples of disruptive innovations. Airbnb, an accommodation provider without its inventory. Uber, an online car booking app without owning any cars. Wikipedia, largest free encyclopedia without owning any content. Highly disruptive. The innovators took a risk and it paid huge rewards for them. So what you have to understand is you've got to learn and adapt to change continuously. Any organization which is a risk smart organization is going to be a growth based organization. So please understand, only if you balance your risk, it's going to lead to unexpected opportunities and it's going to be highly transformative. Similarly, an organization which takes risks knowingly and manages risk properly and intelligently is going to be having businesses which are viable in the long term, and it also meets the expectations of all the shareholders. Now, in a world full of uncertainties, when you manage risk, you need to be having people that make sound strategic operational decisions. You need to deliver business results all whilst keeping risk in the background. So there is a risk and a value model where you have different decision makers who look at certain perspectives of the organizations, measure strengths and weaknesses, take risk and try and add value. So the profile of the in risk assessment, the organizational context is crucial in risk assessment. There is a process by the Asia Risk Management Institute which says to manage risk, you've got to understand the organization, run a risk assessment, quantify and aggregate the risk, evaluate and take decisions about the risk, plan and implement, exercise and test the different variables associated with the risk, monitor, manage and review risk, analyze it, look at how you recover from a risky situation, monitor risk, report it and recognize it. So this is a wonderful model for risk management. So you need to understand your competitors, substitutes, key partners in the supply chain, key customers and their segments, because all these elements along with the macroeconomic forces are going to be part of your value chain and your risk assessment. So thereby you look at short-term risk, middle-term risk, and you look at long-term risk, measure all these things in terms of profit and time to develop a sustainable business model. So you look at your current reality, look at your vision, look at the strategy, ingredients, capital, people, the recipe, look at the risks which stand between today's reality and tomorrow's vision. Effective risk management thereby is very, very essential to manage threats and guide companies to a positive future. Just to sort of end, risk is very important. You need to have a risk aware and a smart risk culture rather than having a risk averse culture. You need to recruit and promote people who are risk smart, have a risk adjusted performance system, look at rainy days and opportunities, strengthen crisis management, and always keep thinking long term from a risk perspective. If you are doing that, as an innovative organization, you are managing risk, you are controlling risk, and it's leading to long term business success. Thank you so much.